Hi, I'm Andrew.
My name is Thomas.
Today we're in a toilet.
Yeah, which
How
is
crazy is that?
it smells.
It doesn't smell, but
No, it smells for me because I'm actually over a toilet with a lid open.
okay. But the toilet is clean.
And it does stink.
Does stink. Okay, so today we're here to talk about flying.
And how big and the accessibility of the toilets.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of. I mean, flying as a wheelchair user is something that you.
It might be really hard.
Yeah, and I remember the first time I did it. Right, it was 2010. I've been in a wheelchair for about a year, maybe 2 years, and I wanted to go down to Cape Town, the bottom of Africa. So it's a 12-hour flight. Go with my wife, Jo, your mother, to meet some of her family that live down there. Walk around, and I just started to use a wheelchair.
And because the toilet, there's on a plane there's like a tiny toilet,
Mm-hmm.
teeny tiny toilet.
A teeny tiny toilet.
And if there's like a wheelchair user on the plane, they can't go for a long haul flight on the plane. So this is a perfect size of a bathroom.
Well, it is, but I mean, could you fit this in an aeroplane? I mean, you've got a hoist over there. You've got this is called a commode. Now, so some people that
we call this a pool chair because we use it in a pool.
It dips me into the pool, but it's also got a hole in it, so you can wheel it over the toilet. So for certain disabled people, it's easier for them to transfer onto this, and then you can be wheeled over a toilet.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have a muscle disease that affects my legs.
Arms and yeah.
All my legs and my arms. I don't have upper body strength, and I don't have any ability to weight bear to stand up.
Because you've got no muscles.
No muscles.
Zero muscles
so
and here.
I can move my feet and I can move my hands, but it's not terribly useful.
If you squeeze my hand.
Anyway, we're talking about flying.
Yeah.
So 2010, and I phoned up loads of times. I was really nervous about flying, and I was like, what will happen with the wheelchair? What will happen with the toilet?
Remember one time that we were going to Alicante, we were taking off and the plane just jolted.
See, I don't mind that. I don't mind the jolting, I don't mind the turbulence, I don't mind anything else. It's purely access to the toilets that I get scared about, right? Because...
But when we were going to Alicante, this chair was in the cargo bit.
Yeah.
And we were taking off, all normal, and then I looked down at the window, I was like, wow. And then suddenly, I went, ooh!
You had some turbulence, yeah.
No,
yeah.
This was when we took off. We had the biggest jolt, didn't we?
It was a bit. But, so if you can imagine, I'm ringing up the airline and asking what's going to go on, what's going to happen. They said that the wheelchair goes into a crate and it goes into the hold.
It goes on.
It doesn't matter what the weight of the wheelchair is, that was fine. It was within the parameters.
Dad, does it go like on a pallet?
Yeah.
Like wrapped around, like not tin foil?
You have to disconnect the battery, and it has to have a certain type of a dry cell battery, which most electric wheelchairs
Remember, you have like that luggage thing up there. So if you need to go for a week and just undo your belt and go.
Well, yeah, they will have, for long haul, they'll have a transit chair, which is a bit like this, but it's a much smaller fold-up version of a wheelchair. Tiny little wheels, and that's what they'll use to move you around the plane. But there's ground crew that lift you physically out of your chair into the transit chair.
When I watch you do that, I'm the scaredest that you're just going to fall on the floor and you might never wake up.
No, I'll always wake up. And then the other end, the big ground crew from the airport you're landing at will lift you back into your seat, back into your chair. And
once you're in the building.
On the plane itself, you have to move under completely your own steam. So you and whoever you travel with are the only people. The air hostesses can't be responsible for lifting you because they might hurt themselves, they might hurt you, and it's not really fair. I mean, I'm about 11.
Or, if they're not strong enough, they might drop you on the floor.
Well, I'm about 11 stone, and what would it take to lift me?
I'm 5 stone.
To lift me as a dead weight. 2 very strong people can just about lift me. I'm on this flight to Cape Town, and I thought I don't want to bother anyone, but I was a bit nervous. I wasn't eating any food. I thought, no, it's 12 hours, it's a night flight. I've eaten during the day. I've taken some Imodium. That stops you from going to the toilet.
A lot.
Yeah. So I took some of that just in case. I felt fine. And then I asked the air hostess, I said, I need to use the toilet. And she said, yeah, there's one there, there's one here. So no, I'm sorry, I'm the guy that's in a wheelchair. I don't want to make a fuss. But and she said, oh, well, will you be using your own wheelchair? I think we've got one somewhere. And I said to her, I think mine's in the hold, so unless you plan on stopping, I would like to use your one. And she hadn't used it before, bless her. But she couldn't get the transit chair into the toilet. She said, this is the biggest toilet on the plane, it won't fit in there. And we went round and we tried all the toilets and it wouldn't go through the doorway of any toilet on board. So they got some blankets and I had a wee in a bottle. And I was like, I can't wash my hands. And they managed to get some water and some soap and a bucket. And then Jo lifted me because the armrest didn't lift up.
Oh, shit.
So she had to lift me over the armrest. And it was a bit stressful. It was a bit of a nightmare. 12 hours to not be able to get out of your seat unless your wife hoiks you as an 11-stone lump. I hope you liked the video, and coming up is going to be just some little clips about
of getting to the airports.
Just about how we do things when we're flying, and we'll see you in the middle.
Aeroplane. I'm gonna watch it again.
So that's a little bit about flying, and when I got to Cape Town, and when I got back to England, I was really cross because I'd phoned up loads and loads of times, and I'd been told any flight over 4 hours by law has to have a disabled toilet, but no one said the disabled toilet had to be able to have a wheelchair that could fit in it. And I said to them, but that's crazy because the disabled toilet was a little bit bigger and it had loads of bars to hang on to. But if you can't stand at all and the onboard wheelchair won't fit through the door, there's absolutely no way you can use the toilet. And I was expecting something a bit like this. This is a disabled toilet, there's a bit more space, there's a bar that lifts up, there's a toilet, and there's a commode that goes over it. I was expecting the transit chair to park next to the toilet and I could transfer across. But no. So
you can't.
It took me years before I had confidence to fly again, and this time I flew with a different airline, flew over to America. I went with a carer, and there was a very small bathroom, but the onboard transit chair fitted next to the toilet. And when they kind of closed the door, and I'm sat there, and I burst into tears. I was that kind of happy, elated, thinking, I mean, I just went for a wee, but I was thinking if I needed to transfer onto the toilet in an emergency, I could do this. This means I can fly again. I just have to be careful what plane the airline's got and to make sure that it's one with a proper toilet. So I've been on a mission to try and fly as much as possible, to try and try different airlines, shorter routes.
EasyJet is really good.
I like EasyJet, and they said on their website that from 2019, I think it was, or from 2018, all of their Airbuses, their short haul flights, all the A350s, I think it was, would all have a disabled toilet. And at the back of the plane, there's 2 toilets next to each other. And they said on the website that the wall partition could be removed to make a much bigger toilet. So I'm really excited. I'm phoning up and saying, am I going to be on a plane that's got that? And they said, we don't know. It's the airport that will know. So I phoned the airport. And they were like, well, you know. I was like, oh, okay. So I phoned the disability help people at the airport, and they went, no, we don't know. No one knows. And I got on the plane, and I spoke to the cabin crew. They didn't know. And I said, well, apparently there's this really cool wall that gets pulled out and turns into a toilet. Never seen that. And I've flown EasyJet quite a few times, and nobody knew anything about it. I was like, oh, that's a shame. There's like all these exciting things, but no one knows how to use it.
Dad?
Yeah?
I could go in and check for you.
Thanks, Steve.
I'll just get a screwdriver and a drill.
Yeah, sure, that wouldn't be too good. So I hope you like the second half. There's a few more clips about the second half, how my wheelchair gets moved around, because that's the other kind of scary thing.
Good.
So I hope you like the second half, and we will see you at the end.
So that was flying.
Flying is doable, and it is stressful. And I think the main message that I've got, right, is that for a long haul flight, like 6, 10, 12 hours, on the plane there'll be a bar area. In the kind of upper class and first class, there'll be beds that people can lie down on.
Really?
And why can't I stay in my chair that's comfortable for me? Why have I got to be put on? Because even an airline chair, even if I'm sat on like a special pressure relieving cushion, like a gel cushion, I have to move every 3 hours, 4 hours, or I will be absolutely crying in pain. And when you go on like I don't know, it's really weird. If I go to the cinema and it's like a 2-hour film, I get really uncomfortable, even though I'm sat in the same chair all day long anyway. But if on flying, if this chair could be strapped down somewhere in the back of the plane, it'd be fantastic. Wouldn't have to
like a few straps just to like the side of the plane.
And a slightly bigger toilet would be great. At the time I got really emotional because I've been on another flight where I was able to get in the bathroom. It's great, but there's no room for anybody else. Now, obviously, I need to either be hoisted or lifted by a couple of strong people to get onto the toilet. And if the bathroom is not big enough, it's just big enough for one person. There's no hoist in there. And these are little things that sometimes I'll be
You're a little scared of.
Well, sometimes I'll be on a flight, and I was told that if a flight's less than 4 hours, by law, it doesn't have to have a disabled toilet. And I was sat there on a flight that was 3.5 hours, and watching everyone get up and go to the toilet. And I don't normally get angry, but I was thinking, hang on, how is this right? I can't go to the toilet. I'm not allowed to go to the toilet because there isn't a toilet that I can use, but everybody else can. Surely, you imagine what...
If there was like a 3.5 hour flight, I would need to go to the toilet.
People go to the toilet all the time.
3 or 4 times.
But can you imagine? You take off and the pilot says, I'm really sorry, there are toilets, but no one can get in them today. You just have to sit there and wait until you land. There'd be an absolute riot. And I'm just sat there getting a little bit angry and a bit upset that I can't go to the toilet on a shorter haul flight. And I'm lucky, nothing's happened. I wee in a bottle sometimes. But coming back from New York once, and of course if I go on a night flight home, the whole day I'd be worried about what am I eating, when am I going to stop eating. I've got diabetes, so I have to eat a little bit, but I'll try and shut down before the flight. And then I'm on the flight, and 2 hours in I start to get a tummy ache, and I was like, oh no, uh-oh, spaghetti. And luckily, the feeling went away. Obviously, it comes back, and then the feeling goes away, and
it comes back at the airport.
Yeah, well, I was okay till I got home. I was. So I hope you like the video, and Tom, if you want to hop on, see if there's a bit of a space to do a spin. But
Dad.
Yeah.
Dad, when we go to Texas, we should watch a rodeo.
Okay, you ready? Thanks for watching, and we'll
see you on the next one. Oh, whoa! Stop!